So I realize a lot of you who have watched my previous videos about how I got an internship in Amazon or what CV I used to get to Google interviews were kind of interesting. What was the first CV I actually used to apply for jobs in the UK? What experiences I had? And so digging for I don't know how long, I was actually able to find the first CV that I was using to get my first UK internship. And I'm going to go over it with you right now to go over some of the things that I think were good about it, some of the things that you can take to build your CV in the best way possible. And I'm also going to share some tips with you in case you're in your first year and you're just figuring out how to basically get an internship. So let's get started. Um, I haven't reflected much on it. I literally am just opening that CV right now, but some of the key things that I would be thinking about when I'm evaluating a CV is, first of all, the standard is one page, especially at this point of your career. You can sort of list your education, and that's where the difficulties begin. Most people don't really know what to put in terms of experience because I can understand most people literally have zero experience when they're in their first year of university. So it's sort of this situation of, okay, do I just leave the rest of my CV empty, or do I do I increase the font, or how do I sort of fill that one page? And the key advice that I would give in terms of solving that, you need to do projects. And I'm just going to use the example of business analyst because I feel like it's quite common occupation, but you can take it as any other occupation as well. Okay, so if you're going for a business analyst, um, you can either consciously build your CV and experiences to match that. So you can look online on like what are the skills that you would need as a business analyst, what tools are useful, and then you can start learning those tools and you can start making projects. Like it doesn't have to be crazy projects, but just projects that, for example, you do for like a 2 week period or a 3 week period, sort of like on the side. And then even arriving at some sort of interesting insights using an analytics tool is quite great if you're applying to this job, given that your first year and you don't actually have relevant experience. Obviously, the more complicated projects you build and the more complicated problems you solve, the more that is going to be useful for the role that you're applying. And I want to take also the case of what if you have no idea what you want to go into and you just want to acquire some experience. Obviously, it's better if you have a strategy and if you know what you're going to go into. That said, I did not know what I wanted to get when I was first year, and this was the CV that I used for basically every job that I was applying to. I might have changed some of the things on it here and there to make it seem more relevant to the role, but I was not specifically aiming to get a particular job. I was just literally applying to everything with the experiences that I had. And essentially in the end I got a business analyst role, but it was not because I had any project that I did related to that role. If I had an advice from someone though, that would have been really, really useful because I would have done a project that would have been a bit more useful related to that. All right, so education done. Work experience, basically this is just a cashier job. So it's not really all that relevant to the internships and corporate jobs that I was applying to, but I tried to pull some sort of like, what did I actually learn that's applicable to the real world of corporate? And I want to note one of the big concerns with my CV is that I've listed these skills here. I do not recommend that you do that. It was just something that I thought would be good way to show that I have some relevant experience to the role, but it is far better to actually show results and to list things that you've done that will indicate that you're actually um, suited for the role. And you ideally want to make that into like a one sentence summary. So you would list just a few bullet points under all of these positions where the person would be able to infer that you have the communication and professionalism in this case. Sorry, I'm laughing. This is just, I was literally just trying to pull things out of anywhere I can. Um, so yeah, this is interesting one to put, but yeah, if you want to like show these things, you can say something along the lines of, um, I focused on improving customer satisfaction, which by some metric, which the store was tracking, led to a 10% increase in satisfaction. You can say that you did that in some creative ways, for example, like what you did, what you prioritized. Um, and then you can just reflect at the end, like this helped me develop communication and professional attitude towards my job. Like that's it. You don't sort of like put it as the heading. You can just mention it in there, but keep it really short, really punchy, and really results oriented, or what you did and how you took initiative and how you took responsibility for it. Um, the next thing was more of an extracurricular activity, and this is something else I wanted to mention. Apart from inventing your own projects, and by the way, don't do these projects by yourself. You can also do them in groups with other people, which I think is even better. But the other thing you can do is you can join a society and you can do things within a society. And I think that's such a great way for you to actually start learning, because there are already events that are set in place and you just sort of join and tag along and you help organize them. You may get some positions that are useful as well. But yeah, this was basically a society that I did. Again, too much information. Probably no one will read that. So keep it really short, keep it really punchy. Other than that, I think structure wise, that's somewhat what you're looking for. If you have technical skills, outline them in a separate section. Um, I would recommend watching my video on either the CV that I use for Amazon or Google, because I do think that CV is far better of a representation of what um, your CV should look like. And you can even look at the Google one, because in that one I share also two CVs of other people. But that's basically my take on the CV, to be honest. Keep it one page. Do projects that are relevant if you already know what you want. Otherwise, just do projects anyway. Do extracurriculars and just build up your experiences so that you can demonstrate that you've done some things that both indicate that you're curious and you're seeking to improve yourself, and also that could be relevant. The other thing I wanted to do in this video is, and I don't know if I mentioned this actually, okay, I'm going to mention it now. Like, you don't have to call this work experience, and this doesn't have to just be about jobs that paid you money, right? You can just call this relevant experience, and then you can literally just list projects on there. Like, you don't actually have to have an actual job. Like, it can be literally like 2 weeks thing where you built a dashboard. Okay, fine, like just list it here. Um, you can just list in bold like the problem and then describe what you did and like the period over which you did it, something along those lines. And then the last thing, obviously, is just apply to as many jobs as possible. And another advice, try not to have that many tabs open. It really doesn't help your productivity. But basically, how you apply for jobs. Um, this is one of the ways where you would just literally write it into Google. Um, And I think Google is actually quite good in providing you like a list of things that you can apply for. So you just basically open this and then you apply to every single one of them with your CV, and you just keep cracking on as many as you can, because in the end of the day, the more you apply to, the more you increase your chances to get in. The other one, and I hope you'll enjoy my LinkedIn feed here, is jobs on LinkedIn. And you can just write business analyst. You can select the type. In your case, you will choose internship. And this is supposed to be, okay, that's where we are. Yeah, so they have a thing called Easy Apply. But if you don't enable that, there is 144 business analyst internships in London looking right now. So this is like such a good way to like get the list, start applying one by one, and just wait for them to get back to you. The other one is you actually can click on Easy Apply, which unfortunately in this case is only two results. But it's basically ones that take you like a minute to submit an application. If you remove business analyst and you just look at all the internships available, there are 565 available internships, which is quite a bit, to be honest. And all of those are easy apply. So if you remove easy apply, 24,000, I mean, you can apply to as many as you want, but yeah, if you click on easy apply, those take you like literally a minute each. So you just need around 565 minutes to submit applications to all of them. So that's all I wanted to say. Basically, build experiences that are relevant, do group projects if you can, join societies, and then literally submit as many applications as possible. If you do have access to a career consultant, get in touch, get some advice, get someone to look at your CV, especially if they're more professional and they have experience with these things. And other than that, just keep going. It can be hard and demoralizing sometimes when you get rejections, especially after you've applied to many places and you don't hear back. But honestly, that one extra application you decide to submit can make all the difference between you having an internship and not. And it is really valuable for you to start off your career with getting an internship early on. And so I would encourage you, just keep going. Don't self-reject yourself and just try as many places as you can. Keep improving your CV and don't give up for as long as possible. That's all from me. Hope this video was useful. Share it with someone who is also first year if you think that could help them. And subscribe to my channel to see more videos about career, student advice, and who knows what else in the future. I'm excited as well. Bye.